This is the S&P 500 one-month overview reading for the month of December 2022. It's currently November 21st, 2022, 7:10 p.m. Eastern Time. Current price of SPY is $394.59, $394.59. So the behavior, the overall trend direction, guys, we have sideways rotation with a sharp dip in the midst of that sideways rotation. It's mixed with a period of volatility that also has a sharp dip standing out within it on the scale of a one-month chart. So that could be the same sharp dip, or it could be a different sharp dip. We'll have to look into that. But overall, this is going to be sideways with like a bunch of swings. And I sense the high is likely in the third week. Likely in the third week of the month. With a low early in the month and a low late in the month as well. Behavior around the month's highest high, we have it'll be like it will fail to break through a resistance level on the scale of at least a 1 month chart, but it's a resistance level that technicals will lead us all to believe we're going to break through, but instead we'll turn around and we'll decline through key support. And that's basically like usually the disappointment card is there'll be a failed attempt to break through key resistance, and then a decline with maybe a false establishment of support, followed by the disappointment card comes into play there, another attempt at that failed attempt, and because of the established support we think we break through, but instead we don't, we decline. That's the disappointment card. And the behavior on the low, the lowest low for the month, we have quite a bit of volatility. There's an important resistance level that's highlighted there. But quite a bit of volatility, both the high and the low mark notable opportunities. There's a sharp decline off of the highest high. It'll be a prominent decline off of a crest or peak that stands out, and then the swing trade opportunity around the low involves an intentional fake out or shakeout or some sort of triggering falsely of an indicator. Let's take a look at October, see how we did for October. So between these vertical lines, between these vertical lines is the October for SPY. A peak there on the 4th. The sharp decline on the, what is this, the 5th or the 6th? On the 6th, so we're off by a day there. Then we have a high and a low, like a bunch of price swinging going on the 10th and 11th. It looks like it's a pretty big swing right there, and then a swing right there. That's the 13th and the 14th. With the low on the 13th, so we were off a day on the 13th. Technically, matter of fact, technically we were. Wait, excuse me. We're right on the ball. What am I saying? We're right on the ball. The low's on the 13th. The low there is on the 13th. Right on the ball. And then it looks like we have another prominent crest on the 19th. There we were off by a day. It was the 18th. A prominent low on the 21st. Bingo. Looks like a prominent high on the 25th-ish. By a prominent low. Looks like we're off a little bit. There was like a prominent high on the 26th. We have it on the 25th. And then there was a notable drop in between the two. It's kind of like this prominent high is kind of like right on the line between the 25th and the 26th. But then there's this trough in between, and then there's another high there for the 27th. And that also happens to be the highest high for the month as indicated here. Pretty badass, you gotta say. And that reading was conducted, take a look. They created the August 25th, 2022. right, so back to it, guys. So as far as the chart behavior by the day, give or take a day here or there, we have a notable move to the upside on the first, out of a trough. It looks like there's a crest between, like on the cusp of the first and the second, and then another trough on the second, with the notable move out of that trough. No, sorry. So we have a notable move higher on the first and into the second, and then we have what appears to be a decline off of that, leading to, like, there's a crest early on the second, and then a trough on the late on the second. Then we have a gap up on the fifth. There's a notable amount of price movement there on the fifth. A breakout early in the day. We may have a high here. Looks like we probably have a prominent high here on the 5th, but there's also a prominent low. So a lot going on here between the 1st and the 5th. And keep in mind, this is the month that retrograde's influence begins, and we generally go into pretty significant volatility as we enter the influence. Here you go, buddy. Okay, yeah, so we go from a peak or crest early on the second to a trough late on the second or early on the 5th, and then we have a notable move out of a prominent trough to the upside there, and we should have a high late on the 5th or early on the 6th. On the 6th, we have sideways fluctuations with a bearish trend preceding a rally, and then on the 7th, it looks like okay, and this would be the first month's low. Matter of fact, here between the 2nd and the 5th, somewhere in there's the first month's low. On the 7th, we have a rally to reach a key resistance level on a 1-month chart. We hit it, and then we break down with consecutively lower spikes up on the way down after reaching that resistance level. On the 8th, and there's likely a sharp dip here on the 6th as well. On the 8th, possibly a sharp dip as well, but we have a prominent move higher on a 1-month chart, followed by a full retracement of that move back down, kind of creating like a triangular kind of thing going on. And I'm picking up more on the 6th. There's a swing trade opportunity on the 6th early in the day in the midst of an early breakout. And then there's a key resistance level that marks the opportunity for that swing trade. On the 8th, there's a swing trade opportunity involving a rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. So probably that pop higher followed by the retracement. On the 9th, we have bullish behavior here, bumping along resistance, breaking through resistance, bumping along resistance, breaking through resistance, bumping along resistance, and it looks like we have another peak or crest here on the 12th, and we sell pretty significantly from that peak or crest. It looks like towards the end of the day. Okay, so we have a move higher early in the day on the 12th to a peak or crest. To a peak or crest towards the end of the day on the 12th. And then there's an agreement between two parties or a merger of some kind that's highlighted on the 13th in the midst of selling from that peak or crest. There's a crest there on the 12th, either early in the day or late in the day, but they're selling from that peak or crest notably. And then we're at we have another kind of holding pattern on the 13th with a pop and drop, and then towards the end of the day there's a rally. A lot of price movement between the end of the day on the 13th and the beginning of the day, or somewhere on the 14th, I should say. A lot of price movement to the upside from the low at the end of the day on the 13th. Probably a gap up overnight, and then there's multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance on the 14th. On the 15th, we have sideways rotation with a sharp dip in there, as correlated to the Queen of Discs. But it's either a sharp dip, or matter of fact, these could be places where we're hitting that support level, because we're rotating along a key support level. So probably on the 8th and the 15th, we hit that support level that we're rotating along. Probably a sharp drop on the 6th, and it looks like another sharp drop on the 27th, 28th. We'll get into that. Okay, so on the 15th, sideways rotation along key support, we rise to meet the nearest key resistance on a 1 month scale, and then we fall back down and continue rotating along that key support. I am, however, advised that there's a significant amount of movement to the downside here on the 15th, or it could be overnight on the 6th, between the 15th and the 16th. On the 16th, there's quite a bit of price movement, it looks like, to the downside, but there's a period of sideways fluctuation between the 15th and the 16th, a sideways fluctuation with a bullish trend, but it precedes a decline, and there's a sharp decline, it looks like, from a crest there on the 16th. Also keep in mind, we're in the influence, as of the 12th, we're in the influence of retrograde, so volatility should be increasing as we move forward towards the 28th. On the 19th, it looks like there's a prominent high there. There's probably, matter of fact, there could be a lot of price movement to the upside on the 16th that precedes a decline on the 19th from a crest or peak. So we probably gap up even to a peak or crest on the 19th, and then we sell from that peak or crest with increasing momentum as we move forward into the day of the 19th. There's a swing trade opportunity involving selling a significant drop from a prominent peak or crest on a one-day chart at least. On the 20th, we have a notable decline on a 1 month chart to reach a key support level. And then on the looks like that decline continues into the 21st. I am advised to place a trade towards the end of the day. It looks like opening up protection towards the end of the day, either on the 19th early in the day, or at the end of the day on the 20th, it looks like. In the midst of prominent selling from a prominent peak or crest on a one-day chart, and then on the 21st, there's probably the month's low there. So we go from a month's high on the 19th, on the 16th or the 19th, to a month's low roughly on the 21st. There's a prominent peak that'll stand out there midday, but there's a sharp drop on the scale of a 1 month chart there on the 21st. Also, it looks like we probably meet that key resistance, or excuse me, that key support level one more time. We're correlated to the Queen of Discs card here again, and then also sharp decline there with a fake out or shakeout, an intentional fake out or shakeout of some kind on the scale of a one-day chart, marking an opportunity to trade. So near a low there, it looks like. And then we have a big move on the 22nd to the upside, reaching for distant resistance and a trade opportunity at the high there. Advised to open up protection there as well. We have looks like 3 failed attempts to break through key resistance over the day of the 23rd, and then markets closed on the 26th. Looks like we probably gapped down early morning on the 26th. There's a really big move to the upside, reaching for distant resistance reaching out of oversold territory, and there's a swing trade opportunity there involving a key resistance on a one-day chart. Also a sharp drop there on the scale of a 1 month chart. On the 28th, 3 pokes through the same price level, followed by a sharp drop off of that third poke. Significant swing trade opportunity as well, involving that significant resistance level on a scale of a 1 day chart at least. Sideways price swings on the 29th, and another swing trade opportunity involving selling from a notable peak or crest on a 1 day chart. And then on the 30th, we have a move higher through a resistance level. On a 1 month chart, we stay above it briefly and break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter, creating kind of like an A, capital A shape in the English language if the price level was like the horizontal line through it. Sneak preview for the following month, we have the completion of a bullish trend. So we go from sideways rotation with probably slightly bullish here still into the high here on the 19th. We go from that into the completion of a bullish trend in January, and it looks like that's probably the completion of a bullish trend that we've had since the low in October. That's stay tuned. We're going to do some quick Q&A to see if we can isolate some price levels here, and consider subscribing if you haven't done so thus far. You can also support the channel many means by checking out the description. There's a ton of links there. I'll see you guys on the Q&A. Is the S&P 500's December highest high price level a higher price level than its November highest high price level? I got a maybe there. Is the S&P 500's highest price level in December 2022 the same price level as its highest high price level in November 2022? Yes. Okay. I'm looking at the 1 year, right? We have at the end of November, we had this opportunity to open up a short position, and then it looks like there's a sharp decline in here somewhere in December to reach the low, right? Declining off of the high as well. So we wouldn't see a higher high. Is the S&P 500's highest price level of December 2022 taking place on the 19th of December 2022? Yes. Is the S&P 500's highest price level in December visited more than once in the month of December 2022? No. Is the S&P 500's lowest low price level taking place on the 5th of December 2022? Yep. Yes. Do we visit the S&P 500's lowest price level of December more than once in the month of December 2022? It's a maybe. Interesting. Maybe. Okay, so is the lowest price level for the S&P 500 of December 2022 taking place on the 2nd of December 2022, as well as on the 5th of December 2022? Yes. Is the January 2023 S&P 500 highest high price level a higher price level than the highest high price level for the S&P 500 in the month of December 2022? Yes. far as price levels are concerned is the low. Do we see, what is this? Do we see 390 in December? Yes. Do we see 380 in December? Yes. Do we see Do we see 370 in December 2022? I got the unicursal there. And then the full card, interesting. Ooh, okay. Well, the full card's early in the month there. And the full card is right on there with, so we likely see it here. Interesting. So there's going to be a sharp drop there somewhere around there. Alright guys, that's the S&P 500 for December 2022. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, guys, support the channel. All of the stuff we do here is free. We need your support. Check out all the links in the description below. The coolest way that you could go about it, I mean, that really helps the channel. Order custom 1 month subscription, whatever prediction, whatever stock, whatever ticker, whatever crypto you want to do monthly, and guarantee that gets done monthly. You'll get it ahead of everybody else. And it's $25 a month. Really helps the channel, my friends. I'll see you guys on the next one.